What's up, Red Wings fans? Welcome to another edition of the Forecheck, live from right here at Little Caesars Arena. I'm Daniella Bruce, and as always, I am joined by Ken Kal, Red Wings radio play-by-play announcer, and Ken brought his black and orange Halloween spirit for tonight's game.
Well, good evening, Daniella. You look very pale today.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, Ken. It is for Halloween, right?
It is, and it's going to be a festive atmosphere here at Little Caesars Arena today, and I just know that the fans are going to have fun, and it's a really good game, Red Wings and the Edmonton Oilers. So see one of the best in the business in Connor McDavid, also Leon Draisaitl, and the Red Wings are playing better hockey right now.
And we'll talk more about those two. And Ken Holland is going to be back at Little Caesars Arena for the first time since becoming the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers. Always be a great event to welcome him back.
Good to see him in Edmonton when the Red Wings were there about a week ago. And, Kenny was a big part of this organization, big part of the players who are now in Grand Rapids. He drafted them a lot, and now they're playing in Grand Rapids. So good to see Kenny in the building, and we're looking forward to a game tonight against a very solid opponent in the Edmonton Oilers.
And Ken, I think the Red Wings have something to build on now. Although on Sunday they did lose in overtime to St. Louis, they had a great third period, and they finally looked like they were playing with all the energy and they were scoring goals. And what did you think overall?
They finally shot the puck towards the net and got some breaks. And this is just an absolute bomb by Hronek. And how about Hronek? He played 27 minutes and change in that game, and he continues to step up the ladder, Daniella, and just play terrific on the blue line. He's got a great shot, and he picks up those points for a defenseman. And as I mentioned, Dylan Larkin, as you see right there, he shot one off of Binnington's glove, that one the net. And then the next goal that was scored by Valtteri Filppula, that went in off of Petrangelo's skates. So good things happen when you fire the puck towards the front of the net.
And you got to talk about Tyler Bertuzzi as well. He had a 2-point night, but on top of that, he seemed to be a part of every big play the Red Wings had.
And we saw right there where he just went around the defender and got in and shot the puck into the net. And he's a point-per-game player right now for the Detroit Red Wings, and he's always around the net, always seems to make things happen.
Yeah, he scored at a really tough angle there, too. That was a great shot.
Absolutely. And again, you just get that puck towards the net, make the goaltender move, and good things always happen.
And you're looking at Dylan Larkin's numbers from Sunday night, and I wanted to talk more about him because after the game on Friday night, he made some comments that, he's the one to blame. He has to be better offensively and defensively. And before Sunday, he was on a 5-game no-point streak. So he hadn't put a point on the board in 5 games. So it was good to see him do that on Sunday night.
Absolutely. And he is one of the leaders on this club. There's a lot of leaders, but it seems like the club rides on his shoulders. And that's the thing about Dylan Larkin. He played 21 minutes of ice time in that game against the St. Louis Blues. And you can tell when he's got that look in his eye and he's out there skating and hustling on both sides of the puck, he's very, very dangerous and deadly. And he scored a big goal to get the Red Wings going in that third period.
And we're hoping the Red Wings can take some of that third period energy and bring that tonight against the Edmonton Oilers. Right now, let's go down to Carly Johnston with more.
Thanks, Daniella. Carly Johnston here in the locker room after morning skate, where I caught up with Joe Hicketts, Giovanni Smith, and Coach Blashill. Joe Hicketts was called up from the Grand Rapids Griffins and will play in the game tonight against the Edmonton Oilers. Giovanni Smith now has 2 NHL games under his belt, so let's see what they had to say.
I think every time you come back for training camp and you come in with a mindset that you want to stick, and I've went down with the right attitude. I've played really well. I've played hard, and I've contributed offensively while keeping a defensively strong game. And I think that's what you need at that level, is prove that you can play defensively sound and then chip in when you can.
Joe brings 2 things to the table all the time. He brings swagger and confidence. And I got a different word, but I'll use those 2, swagger and confidence. And we need some swagger and confidence. He's always brought that. What my understanding, speaking with Steve Yzerman, speaking with Ryan Martin, speaking with Ben Simon, is that he's done a much better job, and I thought he did this in preseason, of playing with that swagger and confidence within the structure of the system. And that's the step that I think he's taken, according to what I saw in preseason in the reports. And if he has taken that, I think he can help us. I mean, really, Joe's a guy that's easy to discount and say, he doesn't look like an NHL skill set from a size skating standpoint, but he's got those other factors that sometimes overcome everything. So we're going to give him a chance to play tonight, and we hope he plays great.
With a few injuries in the lineup, a lot of these young guys are being able to showcase their talent and looking to get a win tonight in this game against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. Back to you, Daniella.
Thank you, Carly and Ken. As we heard there, Joe Hicketts will be up and in the lineup tonight for the Red Wings. Here's some other notable roster moves for the Red Wings. IR for Justin Ablocator, and the Red Wings made a trade yesterday, so we are acquiring Brendan Perlini from Chicago for Alec Regula. Ken, let's start there first. What do you think about that trade?
Alec Regula was playing really well in his with the junior club he was with, and he continued to make strides. But with that said, the Red Wings got a first-round pick in Brendan Perlini, and Brendan is an outstanding talent, and he just hasn't really showcased it just yet. But think about it. I think he was selected 3 spots ahead of Dylan Larkin in that same draft year. And here's the thing about Perlini. He kind of struggled a little bit in Arizona and in Chicago. He comes to Detroit, and it's a clean slate. He has opportunity right now to really make a difference on this Red Wing team, and that's what the coaching staff is really looking forward to his play.
And he will not be in the lineup tonight, but we can look forward to him in the near future. Ken, let's go back for a minute and talk Joe Hicketts. He will be up tonight. What are we looking for from him? Coach seems to think he has some swagger. Now, I want to know if you think the same.
I was going to say swagger and confidence. I think it airs on arrogance too, but that's what
that can be a good thing, though, right?
Absolutely. You got to play this game with a little bit of arrogance and some swagger and confidence too. But the thing about Joe Hicketts is that he's always been a very physical player, and he really goes out of his way to make things happen out onto the ice. The coaching staff says he's a ball buster out there, and that's really what he is. And the thing about Joe Hicketts, and I asked Jeff Blashill this at the morning skate, is the fact that he makes big plays, but now he does it in structured situations. So he just doesn't go out of his way to make a big play, and then all of a sudden you're caught, or he's caught, and then it goes back the other way and it could hurt you. But that's not what he's been able to do. He's improved his game, and I just like the way he plays. I mean, he's not a very big guy, but man, he plays like a 6'6" player out there, and I just wish the best for Joe Hicketts.
Now let's talk a little bit about what we can see from the Oilers tonight. Of course, we have to mention Draisaitl and McDavid, both going to be out there tonight, and they both have 21 points in just 12 games.
Just unbelievable players. And, I look at the Chicago Blackhawks, and you look at Kane and Taves, and it just seems like when the Red Wings had Zetterberg and Datsuk, it's always the dynamic duo that drives the bus, and that's what we see from McDavid and Draisaitl. 21 points each on the season, deadly on the power play, and in overtime, they're just as deadly. I mean, those two guys are on the ice at the same time, and they can hurt you, but just terrific hockey players. And if you're coming to the game today, I know you want your Red Wings to win, but focus on those two players as well, because if you're a hockey player, you might learn something from watching those guys. They're terrific hockey players.
And Edmonton is coming off a loss on Sunday night to Florida. And the Red Wings, like I said, they didn't get the win against St. Louis, but they've got something to build on. So how do you want to see them start the game tonight?
Just play the same way as they played in the third period. That means be on the attack. Spend more time in the offensive zone. And when I think back to the game, Daniella, in the game against Edmonton, out in Edmonton, that's how the Red Wings played. And they shut down Draisaitl and also Connor McDavid. Draisaitl, I think, got an assist in that game, but it was a 2-1 game. That's the way you have to play against these guys. I expect Dylan Larkin to go head-to-head against McDavid tonight, and he's going to be a tired hockey player at the end of this one. But if there's a guy that can shut him down, it's Dylan Larkin.
And we're looking forward to a great game here at Little Caesars Arena. As I mentioned earlier, we're celebrating Halloween. We've got trick-or-treating on the concourse for all the kids and even adults. We can trick-or-treat, right? Especially here at Little Caesars Arena. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Ken, I know you're really excited about this. It's WWE night here too, so we're going to have some fun surprises for all the WWE fans.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I think we're interviewing one in between periods.
Yes,
Body Slam City.
Ken brought all his moves tonight. You better be careful up there in the booth. Whoever's up there with you better look out.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun too, and love wrestling. I've always been a pro wrestling fan, and Halloween, it's a whole bevy of things here today at Little Caesars Arena. So the fans coming, they're really going to get their money's worth tonight.
Yes, they are. But of course, if you're not coming, you can catch the game on Fox Sports Detroit or listen to Ken on 97.1 The Ticket. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We'll see you next time.
Happy Halloween.